Get the warrant for my fucking phone, and then you can have my phone. You have a warrant for my arrest, not my phone. Fuck you. You better not fucking do it. You better not fucking do it. You better not fucking...
You can respect people's privacy without, you know, without ruining people's lives and putting them in jail. Like, come on. All right, what's up, YouTube? So I made I made my own little video about the TheAngryVet's, just a screen recording of the my reaction to the trolls after they tricked me into thinking that the Angry Vet was convicted and he found guilty on all 8 charges.
I thought I had the facts. I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, I made a screen recording, but there's a lot of good stuff in here that's important important things that, you know, a lot of people overlook. You know, they think, oh, they you know, they got me, they tricked me, right? Well, we'll see who gets the last laugh, because there's something that they fail to realize. That's the bigger picture, right? The bigger picture, whether he gets convicted or whether he doesn't, you know, that's irrelevant. They'll get pleasure out of it if he gets convicted, but he kind of needs to be convicted in order for it to get to the next level, for it to actually make a change, for it to affect, you know, the law and actually cause change to happen. But anyway, this is just my take on it. This is the day after, the morning after the first day of his trial here. So there's a lot of things that I say I'm assuming, but I assume a few things here. But just enjoy it. I feel like a lot of what I have to say is valuable aspects that people just seem to overlook. So, but he hasn't been convicted. Let's just say, yeah, the trial's still going on, and it is a jury trial, not a bench trial. So disregard that when I talk about this in this video. But enjoy. EP.
Oh,
I saw the criminal complaint.
Well, like I said, we'll talk about that at the prelim.
Okay, I was just asking what the evidence is.
You're asking me questions in your recording.
You're recording me too, aren't you?
I'm not recording you. That ain't on, bro.
Why not?
Because that comes on when I want it to come on.
Well, I'm just...
Look, it ain't on.
You have to protect myself, you know.
Well, I understand that, but...
If you think you can outsmart the law, you're right. Cops are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet.
I thought I heard somebody getting ready to say something. I don't know.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check is I'm chest, what's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just hold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
Some people just like licking boots. I don't know, maybe I never tried it, you know what I mean? What is it? Do boots taste good or something? Is there something about the boot that you just love licking it so bad? Or what is it, you know? I don't get it. It goes over my head. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. Even if you're getting paid, I still could never do that. You know, I have a conscience, I have morals, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to sacrifice my conscience and my soul, and my morals for money or for personal gain. Nope, because I have 2 kids that are growing up, and 2 teenagers, and I'm worried about their future. And the way things are going, I'm looking out for them. Do I want my kids to have to live in a world that's worse than the world we live in today? That's more corrupt, more unjust, with less rights? Is more tyrannical? Is that what you want? If you have kids, is that what you want? You should really think about that before you open your mouth, before you say less until you know more. Try that. Like I said, I admit I could be wrong about situations. I will point out when I'm assuming something, because I want somebody to tell me, nope, your assumptions are wrong. I want somebody to tell me that. I'm looking for the information. I can't find it in here. All these people who are happy to see him convicted, they don't know. They're just happy. They don't know why they're happy. They don't realize they're fucking mind controlled. You know what I mean? What do you get out of it? Why are you happy? Do you even know why you're happy? Or are you just happy not having to use your brain and being mind controlled? Is that what makes you happy? Just, it's just mind blowing to me. It's crazy to me. So I left a comment on TheAngryVet's last video that he uploaded before his court hearing. And I haven't heard from him. I read the comments and I saw that it appears as if he was convicted. And there seems to be a bunch of cheerleaders in the comments that showed up after, that weren't there before, but now they showed up to like rub it in and, and they're like gloating because he got convicted. Just because people's feelings get hurt, because people don't want to be recorded, because they don't understand the law. They're the ignorant ones. And you're the ignorant one for commenting this. And you think it's funny. You think it's funny? I don't understand what's so funny about it. And why this is like a win for you. Why you get joy out of a veteran, right, who advocates for people's rights and constitutional rights, gets thrown in jail, right? Who's the victim? Benghazi Rabbit. I mean, they created an illusion. They created an illusion, yeah. The corrupt officials, at the VA, the people who are supposed to be public servants, right, working for the people, are actively acting against a veteran, against a member of the public, just to protect their own privacy. Even though they chose to be public servants, they chose those positions, they don't have the right to privacy. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about this. I don't get it. And, Benghazi Rabbit, I liked what you did as an advocate and everything, but I noticed that you were on Generally Pathetic's fucking, like you would go to bat for him no matter what. I guess it doesn't matter what the situation is. Here he is colluding with an elected official who is conspiring with a known felon, an alleged murderer of a veteran, somebody who allegedly murdered a veteran for a PlayStation, right? And is online harassing and stalking innocent civilians. There are victims in that case, but you're gonna take the side of the wrong, the corrupt, unethical, public officials, elected officials. I mean, after what Chris and Tiffany have done, exposing, JJ Scarborough and that whole gang, I will be blown away if JJ gets elected again. I would definitely want to look into those elections and see if there's any conflicts of interest or any corruption taking place in those elections, if that's the case. Because it sickens me watching what they do. I look at both sides. I don't just believe one or the other. Nobody's fooling me. Nobody's pulling the wool over my eyes. And if you are just like Benghazi Rabbit here, if you're just taking that one side, and you're not looking at the situation at both sides, then you are you are the problem. You are being irresponsible. You are only contributing to the corruption. You are controlled opposition, whether you know it or not. I made a comment that said, I'm just assuming, I don't know the situation, right? The details of the situation. But I left this comment, and I said, the angry vet is a soldier, and everything happens for a reason. So, if he's locked up right now, then it's only going to bring more attention to his story and force the issue into the hands of the judges and courts with the power to actually change the system for the better. So, for all the bootlicking haters in the comments who are too ignorant to see the bigger picture, you are the problem. The angry vet is the solution. So pay very close attention to what happens next. And maybe, just maybe, you'll learn something. Patience is a virtue. The best things in life are only obtained through hard work and perseverance. The angry vet is sacrificing his own freedom so that we don't lose our First Amendment rights. And I can't express enough how much I appreciate the sacrifice that he's making. And there was 2 replies to that, but here's one of them, highlighted reply from Bruce Gordon, 4992. He said, what if the judges also have a concern for the privacy and rights of other veterans in the VA Medical Center? Are you surprised that the jury voted to convict? So I said to Bruce, I said, I'm not surprised, but I don't believe the judge, chose to convict because they're concerned about the privacy of anyone but themselves. And by I say the judge, I mean the system is set up so that the jury selection and everything is designed to favor the outcome that the judges want. They run the game. The court systems are broken. The court systems with a jury of our peers doesn't work the way people believe it works. They rigged that whole system so they have ways to manipulate a jury and manipulate a situation in court to get them a favorable outcome, whatever they want. Even if you know the system, you still, the cards are stacked against you. But I told Bruce, I said, I honestly don't know the specific details with the incident the charges were based on, but I would assume that Kevin certainly didn't violate the statute as it's defined. Now, I've looked into the statute. It's not just black and white, cut and dry, where you can't record somebody, under the wiretapping statute. There are stipulations and there are certain, things that they have to prove, the burden of proof, they have to prove to be able to, convict somebody on that charge. One of which is a reasonable expectation of privacy has to exist beyond a reasonable doubt, that any person would reasonably assume that there's an reasonable expectation of privacy. So I said they would have had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he intentionally recorded someone in an area where a reasonable expectation of privacy existed, beyond any reasonable doubt. I'm betting that the VA had multiple devices of their own recording in the same place that they charged Kevin for recording. And if that is true, then a reasonable expectation of privacy can't exist. It just can't. It's a double standard. It's, if they have recording devices in the same place that they charged him for recording, they would claim, it's for security purposes. Well, so is his. You understand that you can't have a double standard there. Rights for thee and not for me, or rights for me, not for thee, whatever, you know what I'm saying. But I said, so he wouldn't be violating any wiretap statute and therefore should have been acquitted. Now, like I said, I'm assuming, but, privacy is not supposed to trump anyone's First Amendment rights. And if there is a conflict about specific situations, then the burden falls on the government to resolve it without infringing on anyone's rights. Now, if my assumptions regarding the details of the incident are accurate, then the only guilty party in this case is the government for failing to serve the public equally. Now, I could be wrong about everything, but with everything that I've seen and everything I've been through myself, I don't have too much faith in the people working within the court system. So unfortunately, after witnessing all the double standards created by public servants who just blatantly abuse their power, I have to assume that this is just more of the same. Now, I have this curse, of always being right about issues that I don't want to be right about. They just end up making people mad. It's not that I want to be right, but these situations that are going to piss people off, I always end up being right about. And that's why I piss people off so much. It's just the truth that pisses people off. It's not my word. It's not me that pisses people off. It's what I'm saying. So the truth is what pisses people off. Something tells me that this is another one of those cursed situations. So Bruce, how did I do? You tell me. Because, they don't argue any of the details in the comments. These people don't say anything about the details. They're just like, oh, yeah, you got convicted. Like it's a win for the people or something. Like they're actually protecting anyone's privacy. No, they're not protecting anyone's privacy. They're covering their own ass. It's more like censorship. So to protect them from being held accountable for their actions. That was Kevin's whole mission, And he seems like a man of integrity. I can't see Kevin fighting something and he's intelligent. If he violated the law, or if he did, if he actually did wrong, I would assume he would admit it, or he would, take accountability for his actions, and he wouldn't be fighting it so much, right? I'm just assuming, So the comment I left earlier was in the morning, right after he left the live stream. I said, I'm commenting now, but I'm only 2 minutes into the video. And I'll tell you what, based on how you dress, I wouldn't want to be the person going up against you. And it got a love. I mean, he liked it. So he got to see that before his hearing, I guess. But then you read some of these comments. Guilty on all charges. I love that you got found guilty. The judge did a wonderful job. So I don't know. Was this a jury trial or was this a bench trial? A bench trial, there is no jury. The judge just makes the decision. Enjoy jail. Justice served. How do people see this as justice? Justice for who? Who is the victim? I'm curious. Who is the victim that, oh my God, they got victimized so bad by what Kevin did that he intentionally victimized anyone or was ignorant to anyone else's rights, that justice is served. This is the problem that we have. We have a bunch of ignorant people that are just controlled opposition. They don't realize that they're fighting against their own rights. Let's see. Hers to the maximum possible sentence, and thank you for serving all of it. 8 convictions. LOL. Whoops. Should have hired a lawyer. Okay. Patricia says Kangaroo Court. I believe it. KANGAROO That's what you meant to say. See, these people are like childish. They're ignorant. They are the problem. But Patricia said, justice is what you were trying to say. And then that skinny green puppy said, shut up. See, that's what I mean. There is no even debating or conversating with these people. They don't use rationale. They don't, they're ignorant, they're evil. They don't put themselves in the shoes of anyone else. They just want to see the world burn. I'm convinced, these people are the fucking problem with the world. Freeman, 4589 said, you may want to rethink your comment. It aged like milk. Can you say guilty as charged? I can say travesty of justice. I can, But can you say appeal? Can you say Supreme Court? I don't think these people realize that this actually may come back to bite everybody in the ass. It might have way more implications than people realize. Because in order for it to actually make a change, in order for a case to actually change the system for the better, right? It first has to go this way, right? It has to be a wrongful conviction for the appeal to take place. Then the appeal happens. Then it goes in front of the appeals court. And the appeals court, they're smarter. They are have more eyes on them. They're more inclined to do the will of the people. They're more inclined to actually look at the statute closer and actually give the correct decision. Do people realize how many convictions get overturned because of appeals? And if they even get to that point, it's because the first layer of the court system completely failed. They were wrong, is what that means. Do you realize how many times that first layer of the court system is just wrong? And it's not because they're just, oops, they made a mistake. It's because they can't see past their double standard, their ego, their abuse of power. They're not actually looking at justice in an unbiased way. They all have different agendas and different motivations, and that's why these things get overturned. That's why they make these mistakes. Because the people at these lower levels are just used to getting their way, and they're corrupt. And I mean, it's systematic corruption. And that's why people say the system is broken. It is broken. If there was more accountability amongst the people in the system, the public servants, then this wouldn't happen. We wouldn't have that many, overturned convictions. We wouldn't even have that. It would get taken care of at the first stage the right way. There would be a lot more decisions that get they get confirmed. They don't get overturned. But we'll see, because the people that are commenting here, if I was wrong about the situation, or if Kevin was actually, guilty of the statute, you would have a bunch of YouTube lawyers in here. You would have a bunch of people explaining why he was guilty. They would give details. That's how that's what they do. But you don't see that. You just see a bunch of stupid people in here saying stupid shit. Right? Let's see what these two replies are. The Benghazi Rabbit. He said, LOL, recording people in a two-party state who specifically say, I don't want to be recorded. Yep, it does happen for a reason. Okay, you go into public in a two-party state, you don't get the wiretap. Go read the statute, Benghazi Rabbit. Are you really... You are an advocate, aren't you? You go out and you advocate for justice and you advocate for important issues like this, don't you? Yet, it seems like you have never read the statute. It seems like you're ignorant to the details of the statute. If there is even a reasonable doubt, that it's the person doesn't have an expectation of privacy. Say, like, I have Nerve Gorilla calling me, right? When Nerve Gorilla calls me, if I record that conversation, I would guarantee that it would not be a violation of the wiretapping statute, because Nerve Gorilla is a person who is known to do interviews online on his YouTube channel, and he gets people in voice, right? He does phone conversations with people, and he records them, okay, for his YouTube channel. So with Nerve Gorilla calling me on the phone, I live in a two-party state. If Nerve Gorilla were to call me and I record it without asking or telling him, without express consent, I'm sorry, but you'd have to prove that there's an expectation of privacy exists. And when he record all that you see and all that you know of Nerve Gorilla, because he's anonymous, the only thing you know is that everything you know has been recorded. It's recorded conversations. That's it. So it would be the opposite of an expectation of privacy. I would expect that he's recording if he calls me. And because that's the case, then that totally trumps the wiretapping statute. It doesn't apply. You understand? So when the Angry Vet is in a, what's considered a government facility, any government facility is public. If it's publicly accessible, then it's if it's government run, then that means it has to be accessed, available to the public for public access, which means it's public, which means there is no reasonable expectation of privacy in public at all. Okay? I mean, it even goes even further. If you live in a house, or you live in have a roommate, okay? If you live and you have common areas, your kitchen, your entryways, the common areas, right? Any place that is considered a common area in a multiple person dwelling or multiple family dwelling, you can record them. There's no wiretapping law, doesn't apply there either. So if I have a hidden camera in my living room and I have a roommate and I record him, I'm not getting violated by the wiretapping law. It would not hold up because there's no reasonable expectation of privacy in a common area, even in a private house, in a private setting. So, see, Bruce said, I'm thinking that a jury convicted him, not a judge. Oh, you're thinking that? You don't know? The judge allowed the case to move forward because he was trying to balance the rights of one against the rights of another. The judge allowed the case to move forward? Really, that's what you think? No. I can understand why the case didn't get dismissed at a preliminary hearing, because there is a possibility that a crime was committed, and that's why they're unbiased. That's why they let the case go through, to be equal, so that each party can argue their case. But I don't remember any jury selection taking place. There has to be a jury selection. That can take days. So I'm guessing, because this is how the kangaroo courts work, right? If you don't know every step of the process and how it works and everything, they will strong arm the defendant into a bench trial, in which case it's just the judge gets to decide. That's why I said the judge. I don't think the jury convicted him, because they would have known that a jury would have acquitted him. A jury, 12 members of the public, most likely would have acquitted him. So, I bet my last dollar, I bet everything that I have, that it was a bench trial, and that was not the Angry Vet's decision. It was not his choice for a bench trial. I guarantee it. And that's another reason why this will probably make it to appeals, because he didn't get to be convicted by a jury of his peers. He wasn't convicted by a jury of his peers if it's a bench trial, and especially if he's claiming prosecutorial misconduct, right? Because the police, everybody, there was some misconduct along the way, the entire way. The whole thing with his phone, they didn't have a warrant for his phone, and they lied to his wife to obtain that phone and everything. The way that they sat there on camera, lying to her, trying to trick her and force her to give up that phone without a warrant. I mean, come on. These laws are in place for us, for our protection against a tyrannical system, a tyrannical government. They already have elevated powers, okay? We're supposed to have public trust in them because they're supposed to have integrity. We give them these powers with the assumption and with the understanding that they swear an oath to protect and serve our rights, our constitutional rights. That's the first thing they're supposed to be protecting and serving, is our constitutional rights. Without that, we're not free. You know what I mean? We are a tyrannical surveillance state. It's not at all a constitutional republic or democracy. It's there needs to be the check and balance is the people. So if if everybody can't see this, open your eyes. You can't realize that the people have been weaponized against the people. Okay? There's supposed to be a check and balance on the court systems and everything else, and that's supposed to be the people. Well, they have manipulated and used propaganda, fear-mongering, and the media over a long period of time, and a whole lot of indoctrination to weaponize the public against itself. And the media is a big one, right? So I don't hear any debate or argument in these comments about any details. I hear some assumptions, but you see these people coming out of the woodwork after he's convicted. You know? And this is, it makes me very angry. It makes my blood boil, you know what I mean? Whenever these are taxpayer-funded people who are like, score one for us. Like, you don't benefit from it. You are a citizen too. At the end of the day, you go home, you have a family. What if your rights were violated? If it's then all of a sudden it's different, right? So you guys need to look at the bigger picture here. And you need to stop attacking the people that are actually, heroes of the people, advocates for the people and for our rights. There's a whole bunch of people out here that are sacrificing and risking their own freedom in order to preserve our rights. It starts with the First Amendment. That is the top dog. That's the supreme, law of the land. There's nothing that can possibly trump our constitutional rights. If a law is created that supersedes our constitutional rights, it is by definition unlawful. It is by definition an illegal law. It's an illegal statute. It's not to even be created. So any statute that violates constitutional rights, now it can violate a constitutional right in one situation, but not another. That's I forget what the wording is, but there's two different types of violations. So, there can be a conditional, I forget what the word is, but in one case, it's supposed to be a case-by-case basis. So it can be unconstitutional on its head, on the situation. Whereas in another situation, it's not unconstitutional. It's, and that's how these laws are supposed to be interpreted. But there are laws that have been written and created that are unconstitutional right on the surface, right on their face. And those laws need to be appealed. Those laws need to be off the books. They need to be repealed. And people need to pay much more attention and take much more time and careful consideration when passing legislation or even submitting legislation. The constitutionality needs to be looked at before it's put to a vote, because unfortunately a lot of people, they don't operate under with the Constitution as their basis or with the Constitution in mind. So when they're just worried about this situation happening and they got to hurry up and pass a law to stop this situation or to fix a problem, and they don't think about the constitutionality of it or a situation where it can violate somebody's constitutional rights, that's a problem. That's a big problem. We need to go back to the basics, go back to the Constitution, and everything needs to be based off of that first and foremost. And if we still have a problem that needs solved, there's other solutions. You have to look for other solutions. It's just people gotten too lax, and it's just too easy to pass a legislation, because most of the time, if there's legislation that's being passed for one reason or another, it's just to satisfy a bunch of people. It's just to gain, brownie points for constituents, for politics, that's it. And most of the time, it's for fucking money. It's so people can line their pockets in one way, shape, or form, or so that they can basically protect themselves from the government raping their pockets or whatever. I mean, come on, wake up, right? Wake the fuck up. But I have a strong feeling that this situation, and Kevin knows this, if this is the case. Unfortunately, he's going through it right now. He's sacrificing his freedom for the betterment of our future, and you fucks don't realize it. And you fucks want to step on him and make fun of him and shit. You guys are sick. You make me sick. But if it is the case, then Kevin is sitting there right now, and he sees the bigger picture. He knew what he was getting into when he did it. He knew the risks involved. He tried to express it, but he didn't see too many people paying too much attention. Not the people that should have. Not the amount of people that should have been paying attention. I've been paying attention. I haven't been watching the details or paying attention as much as I should, but I've been concerned about it and been following the situation, because that could be me. That could be my kid. That could be my daughter. It could be my mother, my dad, my brother, my uncle. You guys don't think about that? People need to be more considerate of others, and look at other points of view, other perspectives. Put yourself in other people's shoes for a change. That's how we get a better world. That's how we build a better future for our kids. Don't worry. Quit worrying about yourself for a change. Quit worrying about your damn self. Quit being so fucking selfish and so egocentric, and worry about somebody else for once in your life. It won't take long. We can really, really make the world in the future a much better place if more people would just be more considerate. Kevin recording his own personal experience in trying for personal protection to hold people accountable, he was not at all directing his recordings towards other patients, and I doubt there was any other patient's privacy that was violated beyond a boo-hoo, your feelings got hurt. I bet you those people walked right up to his camera too and told him, I don't want to be recorded. It's just that never ceases to amaze me when idiots walk up to a camera to tell the camera they don't want to be recorded. Wow. It's like, wow. It goes to show, it's a perfect example of how dumbed down society has gotten, of how fucking just how stupid people can be, how unaware they really are of their surroundings or of the situation, of the bigger picture. I mean, if I'm in public and I don't want to be recorded, the last thing I'm going to do is walk up to a camera. Those people are just blinded by hate, and they're controlled by something else. They're not good people. Whether they think they are or not, they're not good people. It doesn't matter if they've done good things for people or not. When they do shit like that, they don't have anybody else's feelings or consideration in mind. They just want to watch the world burn. That's it. They just want to watch the world burn. People are so easily gullible, easily hackable. You can get these people riled up pretty fucking easy, especially when you look into psychological operations. Look into psychological operations and see the different tactics that are used. It's not normal thinking. So when you look into it, it might blow you. It might really knock you off your feet at some of the stuff that you look at, and you realize you'll be like, oh my God. When you realize what people are capable of and the tactics that they use in these psychological operations, your whole worldview changes a little bit. How effective and easy it is to implement some of these psychological operations. And it's nothing good comes out of it. Really, I mean, it could be used for good. It absolutely could be used for good. And I think a lot of the people that are using it think that they're doing good, but they never think about the victims or the people that they're fucking over, or the harm that they are causing. They tell themselves they're Batman, and they use that to help forget about the people that they hurt or the harm that they're causing, or the irreparable damage that they're doing for future generations moving forward. They're making it harder for our rights. Our rights don't stand a chance in the future if we don't do something now and make a stand right now. Nerve Gorilla said to me, I asked him if what he thought about First Amendment auditing. Nerve Gorilla, who's all about, all about free internet and being able to, he's a First Amendment advocate, he says.
What's your opinion on what First Amendment auditors are doing? I think they're doing it for publicity, because there weren't First Amendment auditors before the internet, before YouTube. Think about it. When did these auditors come along? They came along after it was possible to earn a living for pressing record on your camera. That's when they came along. They're blood-sucking scumbags. Nobody needs to audit the First Amendment because we fucking have it, dude. The First Amendment exists. And I'm a pro-First Amendment guy.
Now, if you're a First Amendment advocate and you value your freedom of speech so much, what kind of person would be an advocate for First Amendment free speech and at the same time be against First Amendment auditing? I mean, I thought it was apparent at the need, the very, very fucking dire need for First Amendment auditing. Every time you see an audit and you see an idiot cop, an idiot government worker, right? Or an idiot Karen in public who obviously doesn't know the rights, or they don't know other people's rights, and they're trying to infringe on other people's rights. Every time, every video, you see people that just don't know. They're ignorant. They're ignorant of the Constitution, the First Amendment, the very first one. So it's appalling to me, right? It's just how many people don't even know anything about the First Amendment rights. And when you see how many people don't know it, especially when you see police who don't know what the First Amendment is, and they don't understand that they're supposed to protect our constitutional rights. That's their job, first and foremost. So when somebody calls and they're calling to complain about somebody, they're saying somebody's practicing their First Amendment, I want you to do something about it. And the police show up and first try to fuck with the people recording. Dude, that's so backwards. All they need to do, if they're supposed to protect our constitutional rights, they should immediately tell that person on the phone, it's not against the law to record in public. Not only that, it's a protected activity. It's a constitutionally protected activity. And they should advise those people of that. That's all they have to do. Problem solved. Auditors are not going out there trying to get a lawsuit and trying to bait people and auditors can't make anybody do anything. People have choice. You have a freedom of choice, power of choice, free will. You can choose to be an ignorant Karen and flip out and look like a retard.
No. I didn't give you permission to video me.
It's a
but you can video anything you can see from the road.
Yeah, it's called your constitutional right.
Expectation of privacy.
No, there is no reasonable expectation of privacy in public.
That's what you like to say.
There isn't.
But I'm asking permission because
it's the law.
I'm a good person and you're not.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay, I must have missed that part.
Yeah, you definitely did.
This is a good person, everybody.
Yes.
Or you can choose to be a mature, responsible, informed adult who understands what your rights are. And then guess what? It would be boring. It would all be boring as hell. Nobody would watch it because it would be boring as hell. Plain and simple. But the fact that it's not only not boring, but it is like probably the biggest subject, the most viewed subject on YouTube. And it's only growing. It's only picking up steam. The fact that that's the case is just blows it out of the water at the need for First Amendment auditing, for First Amendment advocacy. There needs to be public awareness campaigns. I mean, we spend taxpayer dollars on public awareness campaigns for everything else. It's ridiculous. Why not invest a little bit in our rights? It's only going to benefit the people. It's only going to benefit the people. Do you want your power back or not? Do you want to empower the people or not? Or do you want to just give up, roll over, show your belly? We might as well just give up. We're already socialist. We're moving towards communism. Is that what you want? You know, just because they tell you it's a democracy and they tell you we live in a capitalist society doesn't mean it's true, okay? When the government has control over every single industry and every single aspect of the economy, we do not live in a free capitalist society. Not at all. It's a socialism. It's a socialist society. That's what it is. Like I said, it's borderline communism. China has the public credit score thing in the open. They have social credit score. The public has a social credit score. And if you have a low social credit score, you get denial of service everywhere you go. So it's like, it's the opposite of equality. The opposite, right? There's people get to choose. There's different categories of human. There's subhuman and human, and you know what I mean? That's how they are right now in the open. They're like that. And if you're on a lower level, right, you don't get the same rights as everybody else.
It's a technology prized by the government, like this program in Shenzhen to discourage jaywalking. Offenders are shamed in public and with facial recognition can be instantly fined. Critics warn that the government and some private companies have been building a national database from dozens of experimental social credit programs.
The government wants to integrate all these individual behaviors or corporations' records into some kind of a matrix and compute out a single number or set of number associated with an individual, a citizen, and using that to implement a incentive or punishment system.
A high social credit number can be rewarded with discounts on bus fares. A low number can lead to a travel ban. Some say it's very popular with the Chinese public that wants to punish bad behavior.
Travel ban, yeah.
Others see a future that rewards party loyalty and silences critics.
They deny you service if they want, and they're allowed to deny you service based on your social credit score. Now, we claim to be a free country, but take a look behind the veil a little bit, Look at everything between the lines. And what you'll see and what you'll realize is the United States, what's going on is they are implementing the social credit score. They're implementing this new form of government like a social credit score. And they're doing it by rewarding, all of the people that benefit the government, the people that benefit not society, the people that benefit the government. Government just wants more control. They want surveillance state and they want control. They want information about everything. Information is like crack to them. And they are so addicted, it's not even funny.
My motivation was information became my heroin. If I couldn't get the next big piece of information and I couldn't risk more than I did to get the last piece of information, I felt as though I wasn't accomplishing my mission. Yeah, I was addicted, but I was addicted to information.
Because look, I am all about the truth and the facts.
And they will pay your taxpayer dollars, whatever it takes to get information. Information that they only use to serve them in controlling the public, suppressing your rights, suppressing your speech, taking away your freedoms, and keeping you dumb. I mean, keeping you dumb. It's unreal how just fucking dumb society has become. So you can wait until it directly affects you and your family, and then you can give a shit, because you will. You absolutely will. Or you can listen to what I'm saying and maybe look into it a little bit. It won't, believe me, your eyes will be opened up real quick once you start looking into it. And you're going to change your position. That's how it works. That's always how it works. It's not like all these people that are, advocates for the First Amendment and the people that are they're cop watchers and they're anti-police and all that. You think they started out that way? No. Every one of them started out just like you or me or like any other normal person in society. They never got arrested, never had any problems, never had to worry about corruption or never had to worry about, police abusing their power. And then something happened to where they, they were violated. They were their rights were stomped on, or something was stolen from them, and there was an injustice done to them, and it was by the very people that were sworn to protect it. And that switches a person real quick. When people go out of their way to speak out about the government, knowing the risks that they're taking, why do you think that they're doing it? Do you think that they get enjoyment out of it? Do you think they have something to gain by it, or what? Like, use your brain. All these people speaking out about the government, there has to be some legitimacy to what people are saying. There has to be a reason for it, right? People aren't going to waste their time and do all this if there's nothing in it for them, if there's not something to gain. So why are they doing it, right? Because it's that damn important. It's that important. And everybody that's advocating and saying what I'm saying can see what's coming. It's right here at our doorstep. So I hope this reaches a few people and helps them to open their eyes a little bit if they haven't already. If you're blind, you got your blinders on, turn your head to the left and turn your head to the right and take note of everything you see around you. I hope this helps some people. I hope this reaches enough people to actually make a difference. If not, hey, I tried, That's all I can do at the end of the day. But at least I tried, you know what I mean? I'd rather try and fail than to never have tried at all. That's for damn sure. So, with that in mind, prayers and everything, and best wishes go out to Kevin's family. Anybody else who's feeling the implications of this, Kevin's wife, anybody. I'm sure that there are multiple people that are negatively affected by this. Way worse than anybody's privacy that got violated, right? Listen, I don't have privacy. They target me. They know everything about my life, everywhere I go, everything I do online. They hack my device. They know everything I say. They listen to me 24/7, and I'm not crazy. I'm not making this shit up. They do things to let me know that this is going on, okay? Like a harassment type in your face type shit. So you don't hear me complaining about my situation that much, do you? Because I don't care about my situation, right? I'm speaking openly for everybody else, for you and you and you and you, not for me. Wake the fuck up. Be good or be good at it. Peace out.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, you check as I'm chest, what's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep on the scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. And when they try to change, you can say no, free me.
I guess I don't have any haters watching me anymore. No, there's a bunch of them watching. So,
Screenshot this, motherfucker!